What's up, everybody? It's Lifestyle Editor David Gray here with you on a Friday. Hope everybody had a great week today, great week this week, and yeah, just here to send you off into the weekend. Like I said, I'm with the Livingston Parish News. You can find all of our content every day at www.livingstonparishnews.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We have a morning and afternoon show that we publish Monday through Friday, and then also a weekly podcast that comes out at the end of each week. So, let's dive right into it. Get y'all out of here on a Friday afternoon. First of all, with today's traffic update, it looks like on a Friday, that things are always a little more hectic on Friday afternoons. Everybody trying to get home for the weekend. Right now, there's some buildup on Highway 190 close to Jubin Park Road. That's near the roundabout next to the Denham Springs Walker Library. There's some other traffic. It looks like on Highway 447 in Walker, and then also on Highway 1024 near the intersection of 1024 and 447 in Walker. So be on the lookout for that. Also, some traffic buildup right now on Highway 16 or Range Avenue from Denham Springs to Walker. And of course, if you're driving from Baton Rouge, first of all, don't be watching this live video if you're driving from Baton Rouge. But if you are, if you're listening to it, have it on your smartphone. There is some traffic coming from Baton Rouge towards Hammond. Usually builds up pretty early on Friday afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. And then in weather, which is brought to us by WVLA NBC 33 and WGMB Fox 44. Right now in Denham Springs, Livingston Parish, it's about 85 degrees, feels like 92, and there was supposed to be there was reports and forecasts of some rain today. It really hasn't rained much today, but of course there's always that chance in Louisiana during the summer, so just be on the lookout for that. It looks like this weekend it's not supposed to be too bad temperature-wise. It looks like a high of 85 Saturday and Sunday, and that's supposed to continue into Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week is supposed to get into the 90s, so just be on the lookout for that. So in today's news, kind of a light day with news. Well, I say light. Our reporters are out there covering stuff that they haven't had a chance to actually write today. But there was some news today from the or late last night from the sheriff's office. At one day after posting that they were in search for a theft suspect, the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office has caught the person they suspected of stealing musical equipment and then later pawning that off. Michael Skip Brown, 30 years old, was booked into the detention center yesterday on counts of theft, possession of marijuana under 14 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Like I said, in their original post, the Sheriff's Office said that he allegedly stole music equipment and later pawned it off, and then bond was set at $2,000 for that. And then in other news, if you've been following Kevin Famber, our news reporter, the last few days, he's been at the murder trial for Blason Fife, who is accused of breaking into the home of Rick McBride while Rick was inside the home and then shooting him. The last 3 days, Kevin has been in the Livingston Parish Courthouse for the last 3 days. They brought in a bunch of witnesses, and so just be on the lookout for that. Kevin, I know he was in there today, a while ago when I got to the office. So he'll have a story. To be on the lookout for that coming up later tonight or early tomorrow morning. And then last night, our publisher and editor McHugh David, in case you missed that, he posted a story that it says real estate transactions about to change in Livingston Parish for homes that contain specific sewer implements. An 8-0 decision by the parish council means that now grinder pump disclosures will be required by the seller, and that's according to a new ordinance for real estate agents. And that's kind of it on the news front today. Sports is picking up right now. Last night they had a full slate of scrimmages. You had Denham Springs High taking on Catholic High, and Denham lost that game 14-0. But then again, it's just a scrimmage, just a chance for coaches to kind of feel out what they have going into the season. There was a couple of notable plays. Luke Lunsford hit Troy Goldman for a 19-yard touchdown pass, and Denham Springs, just a 19-yard pass was kind of the highlight of the day, it looked like. And then Denham High finished with 124 yards on 16 plays for the evening. Their longest play was 34 yards. It was a reception by Preston Holwager. So Denham Springs are going to return to, they'll have their jamboree next Thursday against Dutchtown. That's scheduled for 6 p.m. Well, the junior varsity is scheduled for 6 p.m. and then the varsity will go on after that. And then in other football, Walker took on Slidell yesterday at Wildcat Stadium, and Slidell got a 27-14 win. But again, just a scrimmage. Keandre Brown had a 55-yard touchdown run for the Wildcats, and then quarterback Ethan McMasters hit Brian Thomas for a 12-yard touchdown pass. So it was kind of the highlights there. Live Oak, they took on Sandomal yesterday, and they got off to a really good start on defense. They held Sandomal to just 65 yards on 18 carries in the first in the beginning of the game, and then also 19 of 23 passing. So it looked like the Live Oak High's defense was really on point yesterday in their first kind of actual outing of the season. And actually in the final 3 series, Sandomal went just 2 for 12 in passing and had 3 interceptions. So it looked like Live Oak really picked up steam there. And then Albany also, they had their scrimmage against Pine yesterday, and a couple of the big plays. Quarterback J.J. Doherty hit a receiver for a 35-yard gain, and then he also hit another one for a 32-yard gain, and then set up a 3-yard touchdown run by his brother Day Doherty. So just be on the lookout for next week. Jamborees are here next week, and then after that, it's full steam ahead with the season. That's just and also another reminder that our special section for the preview of all parish football teams is coming out next Thursday, August 29th. You'll have previews on Albany High, Denham Springs High, Walker High, Live Oak High, and Springfield High. Now into the lifestyle section of my news. If you saw earlier today, I posted a story that Lane Hardy, our Livingston Parish's own American Idol winner, was inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame last night at the Hollywood Casino. It was he's actually the youngest inductee ever into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, and he joins about 300 other people who have had some sort of influence on Louisiana music, and a couple of big names. I mean, someone like Louis Armstrong. Now Lane Hardy's in the same category, or in the same Hall of Fame group that someone like Louis Armstrong is in. So it was a pretty big moment for him last night. He got to sing a couple of songs. He discussed, starting, playing the guitar when he was 7 years old up until last May when he was crowned American Idol winner. So, I mean, it was a big moment for Lane, and if you recall, he's going to be coming back to Livingston Parish this September for the Lane Hardy Homecoming Bash. It's going to be him playing, and they're going to have a bunch of other local acts such as Chase Tyler, Sarah Collins, Relu, and Parish County Line. So just be on the lookout for that. Tickets are available on etix.com. And then this weekend, Denham Springs High is hosting a first robotics competition. It's sort of going with their new STEM and Robotics Center that just opened up this year that will serve as Denham Springs High satellite campus in the old Southside Elementary building. This weekend, you're going to have teams from Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi competing. They're going to compete with 120-pound robots. Robots are going to have to simulate fueling rockets and cargo ships while also combating unpredictable terrain and weather patterns. Each of these high schools had about 6 weeks to prepare their robots, and this is the first year that the Red Stick Rumble is going to be in a new location. It's going to be at Denham Springs High's gym, Hornsby Gymnasium. So it's free to the public. It's tomorrow, like I said, Saturday, August 24th. It starts at about 8 o'clock and lasts till about 5. So if you have nothing to do tomorrow, you go out to Hornsby Gym. I'll be there tomorrow morning, early morning, getting a story on that. And then in some other lifestyle news, the Rotary Club of Livingston Parish today made their sort of semi-annual donation of shoes to the Livingston Parish School Board. In April 2018, the Rotary Club decided they wanted to start helping provide shoes to needy children in Livingston Parish. So they started this superhero 5K fun run. If you've followed us for the last couple of years, you've seen we've gone out there, we've posted stories and galleries from that, and then usually at the 5K, instead of paying a registration fee, the runners have the option of bringing a new pair of shoes that gets donated to the Livingston Parish school system shoe vault. So today, the Rotary Club brought about 90 pairs of shoes, most of them for elementary age students, which that's where they see a lot of the need in the school system, and it's actually part of a bigger effort that the Rotary Club has undertaken. They formed a partnership last year with Shoe Station and Souls for Souls, which is a national nonprofit organization that its mission is to provide shoes to needy people in communities around the country. And last spring they donated 500 pairs of shoes, and there's supposed to be a total of 2,000 pairs of shoes that are getting donated over a 2-year period, thanks to the Rotary Club of Livingston Parish reaching out. So that's going to fill a big need for those in the school system that some of those families, they can't afford it. I was talking to one of the school counselors who it's kind of their job to sort of pick out these kids who might need a little extra assistance, whether it's school supplies, uniforms, or shoes. And I was talking to one of them today from North Corbin Elementary. She said she gave out about 50 or 60 pairs of shoes last year, and some to the parents, because sometimes just helping the parents out in turn, that's going to help the kids. She was saying, if you don't have to buy this pair of shoes, instead you could buy a gallon of milk or groceries or some school supplies. Every little bit counts. So if they're helping the parents, they're helping the kids. So they were really appreciative of that. That's kind of it for today's headlines. Let's run right back through the traffic right now. And yeah, like I said earlier, traffic is really building up right now in Livingston Parish on Highway 190 near Jubin Road, close to the roundabout next to the Denham Springs Walker branch of the Livingston Parish Library. There's some other traffic building up right now near the intersection of highways 447 and 1024. And then looks like there's a little bit of traffic sort of in north of Walker around highway 1019 and 1023. And then also, of course, if you're driving on highway 16 or Range Avenue from Denham Springs to Walker, there's always, pockets of traffic that build up there. And then if you're coming from Baton Rouge, yes, the traffic is going towards Hammond, is building up on I-12, so be on the lookout for that. Weather right now, it's 85 degrees in Denham Springs and Livingston Parish, and that's supposed to be the high for the rest of this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and into Monday. And then it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday of Thursday of next week, it's going to reach the 90s. So make sure to dress appropriately for that. And there's also, the chance of scattered thunderstorms throughout next week. And the weather comes from our friends at WVLA NBC 33 and WGMB Fox 44. Like I said, I'm David Gray with the Livingston Parish News. You can find all of our content on www.livingstonparishnews.com. We're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We have a morning and afternoon show that we publish Monday through Friday, and then also a weekly podcast that gets published at the end of the week. So everybody, I hope you have a great weekend.